You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and we got a mailbag coming up on today's show. We went live on Monday, and we're going to be live again on Monday for NFL free agency. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you are, give me a real one down in the comment section. Let's start with a $100 super chat from my guy, Tank Budweiser. Major salute to you, brother. If Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs are gone, do the Giants really take Jeremiyah Love at number 5? I think that there is a legit shot that Jeremiyah Love is the pick for the New York Giants at number 5 if a situation like this unfolds. If the NFL draft goes in no order, Fernando Mendoza, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Arvell Reese, I do think the Giants could take Jeremiyah Love at number 5. I think there could be a conversation going on of, do we want Jeremiyah Love or do we want Carnell Tate? Look, there's been a lot of smoke around Love and the New York Giants, just like there's been a lot of smoke around the Giants being interested in Kenneth Walker. I think it's pretty clear at this point that the Giants want to upgrade the running back position. I am personally A-OK with Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadwell as a 1-2 punch and then adding an RB3 in free agency or the NFL draft. All signs point to the Giants trying to spend big resources on that position, and I would not be shocked if Jeremiyah Love is the pick at number 5. I probably wouldn't make that selection, but trying to put myself in their seat and think through their eyes is, do they think maybe we're getting the best player on the offensive side of the ball at pick number 5 on a cost-controlled contract? Maybe. I know John Harbaugh wants to run the football, and if Jeremiyah Love is a generational back, I think you could do worse at number 5. Dylan, what up, my man? Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs? I lean Styles at this point, and I'm splitting hairs, like 51% Styles, 49% Downs. I think Styles is a little bit more rare of a player. 6'5", 240 pounds, runs a 4.3 40, whereas I'm not saying that Caleb Downs is a player that you can recreate, but I think you'll find another Caleb Downs before you find another Sonny Styles. Look, if either of them are the pick at 5, I'm going to be hooting and hollering, and I'm going to be having a lot of fun, and we're going to be celebrating. But I slightly lean Sonny Styles at this point. Rob Jigga, what's up, my man? Let's say the New York Giants draft Styles. Would you consider trading with the Bengals if Downs was still on the board at number 5? The Bengals pick is worth roughly 1,300 points. Might cost the New York Giants a 2026 second rounder, a 2027 second, and a 4th rounder. I think that is the minimum that it would take. You're saying to go from pick 37 to pick 10 takes a second and a 4th. I think maybe even a second and a 3rd, and maybe even a future first-round pick. I would love to lead the draft with Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. If the Giants can finagle their way to trade back in round 1 and get Downs, yeah, absolutely. I would be all in for that, but I think it just might be a little bit too much, a little too expensive for the Giants to get all the way up from 37 to 10. Now he starts falling to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, you start picking up the phone and you start trying to trade up. But I think a trade down from 37 is more likely than a trade up. Jaws, what up, my man? Do you think they go after a receiver like Omar Cooper, maybe sign one in free agency and then draft one in round 2? Look, if Omar Cooper is there at 37, I have a hard time believing the New York Giants would pass on him. He's a big-time player, and he's someone that I think would fit great into this offense. A guy that every time he touches the ball, good things happen. I like Omar Cooper a lot, and I think the Giants could double down at receiver, sign one in free agency, and draft one. I think they could do that, and I think they should do that. What, are you going to enter next year with Darius Slayton as your second-best receiver? We've played that game. I think it's likely Wan'Dale Robinson is gone, so to fill his hole that he leaves on the Giants roster, and then also, like, you're going to have to do, like, if you lose Wan'Dale, you need to bring in a guy, because even if you keep Wan'Dale, you still need to add to that room. So you need to replace Wan'Dale and add somebody else. I think that could be a solid plan, no doubt about it. More questions coming up. First, though, I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is GLD. Shout out to GLD for sponsoring today's show. They've got an awesome deal going on right now. When you go to GLD.com and you use that promo code chat, you're going to get 50% off your order today. Get hooked up with them. Everyone has those go-to pieces: shoes, shirts, jeans, jackets. GLD is the spot to get that go-to jewelry. That's where GLD comes in. They make the kind of pieces that become part of your routine, not just something you save for special occasions or once in a while. Just clean, quality pieces that instantly make your fit look more fresh. Once you add a GLD chain to your rotation, you will never go back. This isn't the cheap stuff either. GLD only uses real gold. Every stone is meticulously hand set, and the production process is on a completely different level. You can see it, and you can feel it. Major shout out to GLD. They hooked me up with this awesome chain and this sweet New York Knicks pendant. They have deals with the NFL and NBA, so you can go get yourself a Knicks pendant or a New York Giants pendant as well. This is one of those pieces you put on once and then it never comes off. They've got everything too: chains, pendants, bracelets, and even a nice selection of watches. Work hard and change the game. For a limited time only, new customers are getting an insane deal. Use code CHAT at GLD.com and get 50% off. That's 50% off with code CHAT at GLD.com. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Chat Sports sent you. I'll make sure all of that information is clickable down in the comments and the description of today's show. All right. Shout out to my guy, Big Trez, coming in with a $20 super chat multi-part question here. I like this. Pick a player for pick number 5. Wide receiver Tate, safety Downs, linebacker Styles, offensive lineman Maui Noah, or Fano. I'll order them like this: Styles, Downs, Maui Noah, Tate, Fano. At 37, Boston, Cooper, Allen, Lomu, or Hunter. I really like Hunter. I really like Cooper Jr. Those would be the two guys that I target there. I also like Boston. We're kind of seeing these bigger wide receivers be a little bit phased out of the NFL, but Denzel Boston is a freak. And then number 2, biggest positional needs: wide receiver, O-line, DA-line, cornerback, and free agency. I do think those are the biggest needs. If I were to put them into order: right tackle, D tackle, right guard, inside linebacker, CB2, receiver. But all of them are needs. And then sleeper and overrated player. Man, this one's tough. A sleeper, Michael Trigg, tight end out of Baylor, and someone that I think might be a little bit overrated. Man, that's tough. I don't know. Like, he could be the pick at 5, but I don't see top 5 wide receiver tape when I watch Carnell Tate. Maybe I'll eat my words, and I hope I do if he's a Giant, but I just don't see it at number 5 right now. Fluffy, what up, man? Would love Kayvon for a 3rd and trade 37 and the 3rd to get into round 1. Thoughts? Look, if the Giants get a 3rd-round pick for Kayvon Thibodeau, I think that they 1,000% pull the trigger on that. If the Giants see a player in the 1st round slipping that they like a lot, I don't think that they will hold back on trading up, but I think the Giants are more likely to trade down from pick 37 than trade up at this point. But we still have a month and a half until we get to the NFL draft. Seth Gross, what up, my man? What was your take on $50 super chat? You're a legend, Seth. What's your take on the Joe Schoen dynamic with John Harbaugh? I think Joe Schoen knows this is John Harbaugh's football team. This is John Harbaugh's organization, and John Harbaugh is going to have the final say-so. I do think Joe Schoen settled into his presser. I think that was honestly the most conviction and confidence that I feel like I've heard him speak with in a while. And I think he is aware that, A, his job's not the same, B, he doesn't have the same power, and I think he knows that. And 31 other teams believe that John Harbaugh has final say-so and the most power with that team. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Jonas Seabolt, who do you think are the biggest free agency targets for the Giants? I think that they would love to have Tyler Linderbaum on their football team. Are they going to go and spend big-time money on Linderbaum? $25 million. Are they going to pay that to a center? I think that they would love to have a guy like Devin Lloyd. I think that he's the best off-ball linebacker in free agency, and he's someone that I would love to have on my team. Kenneth Walker is a name that we continuously hear brought up as being a connected piece to the Giants. Do they take a big swing at corner like Jamel Dean? Could that be someone that they're interested in? I think Leo Chanel they'll have interest in. Do they want to swing big a wide receiver for a guy like Alec Pierce or Mike Evans? Other running backs to monitor: Travis Etienne, Rico Dowdle, Isaac Seumalo, the offensive guard from Pittsburgh, I think could be in play. DJ Reader, the defensive lineman from the Detroit Lions, could be someone. Jalen Watson, the outside corner from the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't sleep on Deebo Samuel. I think he could be in play. I think those are some of the biggest names. Maybe Rasheed Walker, and then the tackle from the Green Bay Packers, and then, of course, Jermaine Illuminor. I know they want to bring him back. Michael Champlin, will they start? I do think the Giants are going to start using some void years this year. Do they go Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman style? No, I don't think that they'll be that aggressive when it comes to void years, but they have Jackson Dart on a contract where he is cheaper now than he ever will be in the rest of his NFL career. You have a head coach who is 63 years old, and your general manager is entering year 5, and he has 22 wins to his name as the GM of this team, and that comes after winning 9 games in his first year with the Giants. You won, what, 4 games this year, 5 games this year? The Giants won 4 games this year, 3 games last year, and then when you picked 6 overall, you won how many games? 4 games? We've won like 13 games in the last 3 years. I think the Giants are going to be aggressive. I think void years will be a part of it, and finding a way to manipulate the salary cap to build out the best roster possible. I think that's something that they're absolutely going to do. Major shout out to all of you. If I did not get to your question, send me it on Twitter and on Instagram. My DMs are open. Send it to me, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Hit me up, and let's go Giants.